Welcome back, everybody. My name is Tim. This is another Real Ideal Gear review, and today we're looking at the Swiss Army knife Huntsman, a classic, a legend amongst Swiss Army knives that are out there. I chose this knife for a very specific reason. I wanted something that had the basics for a Swiss Army knife setup with one additional piece, and that additional piece is the saw. That way I can cut not only limbs or things like that when I'm out camping, but you can also use this around the home if you're doing any kind of drywall work. It makes a great saw for drywall. Other things like plastics, harder plastics, this could be a benefit to having something like this in your pocket. So I love this. You have the basic 2-knife setup. You have the can opener series setup. You have the scissors on this side. You have the awl. You have the parcel hook. And you also have the corkscrew with a couple of tools in here. I have the ferro rod, and I also have the fire starter kit in here, so I've got that. Now, if you look at the scales on this, this is where I've done some modifications to this one. I modified the scale. These are plus scales, so this did not come with plus scales. So the plus scales basically gives you the tweezer, gives you the toothpick, and it adds a pen. So I got the scales, I got the pen, but I added a couple more things to this. So if you look carefully at this, here's your pen. Here is, in this case, it's a ferro rod. So I've got that in there for starting a fire, because remember, this is an outdoor setup. And then I also have the tweezer up here. Now the question is, so what is this guy down here? Well, that's a toothpick. So I retained the toothpick by cutting a slot in the inside of the scale. And then basically there's like ribs in there. You just have to cut open the ribs so that you can slide this through there, and you can keep and retain your toothpick. Now, I think I shaped, if I remember right, I had to shape the toothpick just a little bit to make it fit in there, but it fits just fine. And actually, it looks pretty much like it belongs there. It's a little bit deep. I probably didn't need to go as deep on this notch right here as I did, but that's okay. It's a working knife. The other thing I did was I added a second pin. So if you lift up on the corkscrew, you have one pin right here, and I've got another pin hole down here. Now I've lost that pin. I think what's happened is I made the hole just a little bit too big, so it's a little too easy for that pin to slide out. So you got to be careful if you're putting a second pinhole in. Don't make it so big that the pin slides out too easily. You want to have a little friction there to hold the pin in place. So lesson learned on that one. Love this knife. I think it's a great outdoor knife. Very basic, very beginner-minded Swiss Army knife. I always want to say flashlight. I've been doing a bunch of flashlight videos. But this knife, I love it. I carry this one pretty much around the house all the time during the non-mowing season. It's been one of the ones I carry around, along with the Swiss Army knife Compact. And the Compact is another one. It's much more compact, obviously. You don't have as many tools. And I'll carry this one out and about. If I'm traveling and I want to make sure I have some things with me, I'll make sure I have this and maybe one larger tool. So I'll go smaller on this one and then bring a larger tool in a carry-on or checked baggage or something like that. Actually not carry-on, because you can't carry a knife through TSA, but through checked baggage. Or if it's car travel, for sure I'll have 2 Swiss Army knives. I'll have a smaller one and a larger one. So I have a greater tool set selection. So the Huntsman is great. I had the pocket dangler on here because this keeps the flashlight, keeps the knife from hanging out at the bottom of my pocket along with everything else. Keeps it up along the side of the pocket, which is a great idea. This is something that I didn't come up with this. Somebody else did, and it is a great idea. Be real careful. You can see this one's starting to wear through. I don't have a lot left on this eyelet right here on the split ring. So I may have to swap this one out pretty soon because it's been worn down so much. Again, I had this for about a year, and I got the pocket clip almost immediately because I love the idea. And really, it doesn't add much to this as far as the overall, inconvenience of this stuff. Some people look at the split ring and say, it's inconvenient to have the split ring, and they take it off. I say, well, put the pocket dangler on there. I think you're going to like that setup a lot more. So there you go. This is my Huntsman. Modified it. I love the tool set on here. I think it's a great overall setup. Just a real basic one. If you want an all-in-one kind of a thing and you don't want to go too big, this is probably one of the best options that you're going to come across. Now, there's 100 other options out there. I'm exaggerating. There's a bunch of other options out there for different Swiss Army knives, not to mention online website people, Instagram. They do modifications to these. And they put different blades in, and they'll put different tool sets in. I'm contacting a guy about changing my, let's see, what is it? I think it's the Tinker, to have a couple of other tools taken out and some put in. So I have a little bit better tool set for it. So there's all kinds of modifications that you can do to these too. So the Huntsman is I highly recommend the Swiss Army knife. It's just such a great starter on this one. So check this out. I think I'll have the link in the description here. I obviously haven't put it together yet, but I'll try to put the link in the description for this. You can buy it at Victorinox. You can buy this on Amazon, all kinds of places to buy this. Check out my webpage, realidealgear.com. I have a bunch of reviewed gear in there. I have some knives, flashlights, watches, watch and flashlight combinations. Check that out. I think you're going to find that there's some good deals in there, especially if you're looking for a good deal. And I appreciate your time. Put the comments down below what you think of this. My name is Tim. This has been another Real Ideal Gear Review. We'll catch you guys next time.